Good morning, YouTube. What is up? Inflation's on fire. Oh my God. Those are some terrible numbers. Absolutely insane. Of course, cryptocurrency is down, not as much as we thought it was going to be. And we're seeing a little bit of a pump the last hour. It's up about 1%, 1.5% the last hour. But over the last 24 hours, it's actually down about 1.5%. Now, Bitcoin thought about hitting $18,000. Now, surprisingly, this, cryptocurrency markets kind of responding okay to what's going on. First of all, good morning. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Make sure you clickety clack that like button, push us up in the old algorithm. It's so good to see all of you here on a beautiful Wednesday, hump day morning. So, we're going to actually learn about inflation a little bit today because you guys would be surprised on how big of a deal inflation is when it comes to the demise of like countries, societies. Very interesting, plays a huge role, right? But first, let me say hello to the chat. Not to say that's going to happen to us, but it's interesting, right? Franco, good morning. Gabe, good morning. Steve, the Canadian, good morning. Leslie says, your brother, I just got hit up on Tuesday by a scammer using all of your information. Guys, I will never, ever DM you about some shit like that unless it's a giveaway, right? And I specifically hit you up and you see it from my account. There's so many fake profiles of me, guys. Do not get fooled. It is not me. I can't stop them all. We've got a few of them taken down, but they just keep coming, right? Green Candle, what's up, baby? Ham Miranda, what's up, baby? Jay Hawk, what's up, baby? MBK, Sacco, Will Enterprise, Uncle Ruckus. Yes, you got into the, yeah, we'll talk about Voyager right now because Voyager is going absolutely nutty. What's up, Boomer F and Sooner, baby? Illegal Monkey, Biz in the house. Me and Biz have been chatting about Voyager. Let's go. We have CoinViewCat. What's up, baby? We've also been chatting about Voyager. Static, Cameron. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing. What's up, Bernie? How you doing? Bernie hit me up with a pretty inspirational quote this morning. Bernie, I thought it was top tier. Bernie says, regardless of where Bitcoin bottoms, bro, remember, the bears bring the discounts, bulls bring the price to a premium. Bears will make you money, bulls will take it. Now, here's the thing, guys. What gives me comfort in all of this when it comes to cryptocurrency is knowing that the entire world is in shambles. It's not just cryptocurrency. But what's happening as a byproduct of the cryptocurrency market dumping is the fact that a lot of these products are getting exposed. And in my opinion, good riddance. Now, I know a lot of people are getting wrecked along the way, but good riddance, right? Good riddance. Now, shout out to Classic Crypto. He posted the breakdown of the, and if you guys don't know what Classic Crypto is, fellow cryptocurrency content creator. He still owes me $1,000, but go give him a follow and remind him that he owes me $1,000. But he put down the breakdown of all the numbers, right? So you can see all the items: food, energy, all items less food and energy. So you see all the different things right here. And of course, some of the biggest increases are obviously fuel, oil, and those sorts of things. But it's not looking good, right? Not looking good. 9.1 is bigger than anyone ever expected. So they say, right? The experts were predicting like 8.8, 8.9, something like that, right? Shout out to Monster Energy Drink for feeling my absolute degeneracy. And guys, as a reminder, tomorrow there will be no coffee and crypto. I will be at the airport at this time tomorrow. Ooh. But we will, I'll put a video out in the morning, give you like a little recap of all the news and whatnot, so you guys have something to watch. Or maybe I'll do a live stream at the airport. Who knows? Maybe just my dumb face. We'll do something fun. I'll figure it out. We'll see. Okay. But yeah, so here's the breakdown of everything. And we're actually going to go into what inflation is after we talk about Voyager. Because Voyager, and I'm sure a lot of people know what inflation is, but I don't think people really grasp the concept, and it's really important, right? Yes, he's not going to pay me, Cameron. Voyager token was up 500% earlier today. Holy crap. Look, there has been no news on Voyager token that I know of. The only news that I know of has to do with Three Arrows Capital and the fact that they didn't show up to their New York court hearing. So who knows what's going on with that. Apparently, they could have doctored some sort of financial statements, which may have led to people like Voyager lending them almost, $500 million, more than $500 million when they got in a little bit of trouble, right? That's not good. And of course, they had a default on that loan, which is obviously affecting Voyager. $500 million, that's a lot of money. you know. So this is very, very interesting. Congratulations. If you got in on Voyager, remember to take profits, guys. I know we get greedy sometimes, and I know I know I told you to take profits yesterday at 100%, but damn. Yes. Yeah, so chapter 11, just some sort of restructuring, right? What's up, DJ Trev, Market Talk? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. So let's go into a little bit of what inflation is so you guys understand. This is a video by PragerU. It's only 5 minutes. Let's check it out. Shout out to PragerU, by the way.
Inflation isn't new. This man-made disaster has bedeviled civilizations at least since ancient Rome. In order to pay for his extravagant expenses, the first century Roman Emperor Nero debased the
First of all, I love Roman history. If you learn about how their currency just slowly eroded over time, very interesting.
Roman currency, the denarius. How did he do it? By replacing silver, which was valuable, with copper, which was not. And that was just the beginning. Rome's corrupt governments debased the coinage on a regular basis. By the 4th century, the price of wheat was 2 million times higher than it had been in the mid-2nd century.
God damn. So the dinero, dinero is money in Spanish, right? Dinero. Ah.
By the 5th century, Rome was finished, overrun not by barbarians, but by inflation.
Yes.
In the 16th century, English King Henry VIII did essentially the same thing with England's coinage to pay for his wars, divorces, and debaucheries. In what became known as the Great Debasement, food prices soared. Ultimately, Henry left it to his daughter, Queen Elizabeth I, to clean things up by issuing new, high-quality coinage, setting the stage for the emergence of England as a great power. The Continental Congress of the American Revolution
took a woman to really clean things up, huh? Old boy was getting crazy with his debauchery and his hoes. Sorry, his wives. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. That's really crazy to me.
Revolution tried to print its way out of its money problems by paying soldiers with paper money. The first U.S. currency, the Continental dollar, was so overprinted that it became confetti, collapsing into hyperinflationary oblivion. Alexander Hamilton, the first Treasury Secretary, saved the day by linking the U.S. dollar to gold. Figures like Elizabeth I and Alexander Hamilton are rare. These stories usually end up badly. In the 1920s, rampant money printing by the Weimar Republic in Germany led to hyperinflation, economic collapse, and ultimately the rise of Adolf Hitler.
Yes.
Argentina.
There was a real iconic picture from Germany around World War I, where you see a person paying for bread with a wheelbarrow of money. That's absolutely insane. And that kind of stuff, along with all the sanctions and things that happened to Germany in World War I, is the reason why old Mr. Mustache guy rose to power, because they were tired of shit and they needed some sort of leader, right? So inflation's crazy. So let's continue.
Once the most prosperous country in South America, has never really recovered from its wild money printing in the 1950s. And Zimbabwe, now one of Africa's poorest and most corrupt nations, is infamous for its $100 trillion bill. Look for the source of a society's collapse, and you'll usually find the I word. So what exactly is inflation? There are two types, non-monetary and monetary. When a hurricane slams the Gulf of Mexico, interrupting fuel production, the price of gasoline rises. This is non-monetary inflation. The rise of prices due to some external event. Over time, the market recovers and prices normalize. Monetary inflation is something entirely different. It's the distortion of prices that occurs when money loses value. It's that feeling that something isn't right. Why is my weekly grocery bill, which used to be $100, now $200? Because your money is losing value.
Stimulus checks. Stimulus. Sorry, a little bit of cold there. But the amount of money that I pay for groceries on a weekly basis is absolutely insane. Now, I try to get high quality foods, but damn, it's insane, right? Let's continue.
It's not that bananas have suddenly become more valuable, it's that your money's become less valuable. This can happen rapidly, as we've seen since 2021, or slowly over time. For example, in 1970, a can of Coke cost a dime, a Big Mac 65 cents. 50 years later, a Big Mac is $5, and you'd be lucky to get a soda out of a vending machine for $2. Obviously, these products haven't changed. It's the dollar that's worth far less. This slow motion devaluation of the dollar is why young people today can barely make rent, when years ago their parents, who made far fewer dollars, could buy a house. Their dollars were worth much more.
And that's the comparison we see a lot, right? Like, oh yeah, back in the day, you could buy like literally one person could be working, right? Like that's why this whole stay at home mom thing was like a big deal. You know, you just had the guy going out to work, and they could have this nice house, a car, take trips, and all those sorts of things. And now that's not the case at all, right? You'd be lucky to get a room somewhere, right? I have friends that are looking to rent out rooms now. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough out there. It's a bloodbath.
If you feel cheated by that, I don't blame you. You have been. So, where should your anger be directed? You
Uh-oh.
can start with our 37th president, Richard Nixon. The worst thing he did was not Watergate, it was taking us off the gold standard in 1971, which Alexander Hamilton had put in place 2 centuries prior. This allowed the federal government to print dollars more or less at will. Had the US dollar stayed connected to the gold standard, it's estimated that today's economy would be at least 50% larger than it
Wow.
is. In a universe without inflation, you could buy that house. So, what is the dollar's value linked to now, if
Him
not
and
gold?
Nixon.
Nothing more than faith. The faith that the money you have today will be worth the same tomorrow, next year, and the year after. But it becomes harder and harder to maintain that faith as the US government prints trillions of dollars to pay for its outrageous spending. The most devastating effect of inflation is its impact on social trust. Money, after all, was invented to enable trade between strangers by providing a mutually agreed upon unit of value. It is a facilitator.
If you think about money, or you could say currency, came in all different forms before, right? It came in the forms of like animals and food and whatever, right? But money is one of those things where we all agree upon its value, and it can't really erode like that, right? Like, say for example, so you traded like, I don't know, some food for something. It's like that has a shelf life, right? That only has so long until it's worthless. And it's so true. I mean, the dollar used to be backed by gold, right? And now it's not anymore. So uh, that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that the economy could have been 50% more than what it is. So interesting.
Of trust. Without that trust, trade, social relationships, and life as we know it ultimately unravel. So are we doomed to this fate? No. Just like England wasn't and America wasn't at its founding. We must once again link the dollar to a stable anchor, gold, or some other trustworthy standard. The time to start that debate is now, or we will go the way of Rome. And you can bet your bottom denarius on it. I'm Steve
Oh
Forbes,
shit.
co-author.
Oh no, Steve. Oh no, Steve. Oh no, Steve. Oh no, Steve. So you guys get an idea what inflation actually is. And it's led to a lot of the downfall of a lot of great civilizations. So sounds like to me humans never ever learn. It sounds like that. You know, once in a while you get bright minds out there that do some crazy shit. Aren't you guys grateful for people that are just way smarter and more conscientious and hardworking and just intelligent than you are? Because I could never do anything like that. You know what I mean? But these people out there, these innovators, Elon Musk, you know, some of the great leaders of the world, you know, they're doing things, right? They want to shit exactly. They want to talk shit about crypto stablecoins, but can't stabilize the dollar. And this is why a lot of people really criticize the government when it comes to them talking about cryptocurrency. Because it's like, dude, okay, you know, crypto imaginary money, but what about our actual imaginary money? How about us doubling the debt in like years? The nation's debt in years. You know what I mean? How about us doing that? Y'all want to talk about stable coins? So interesting, very, very interesting. Bitcoin is a way. Bitcoin is a store of value. Bitcoin is for the people, by the way. It sucks that it's just so closely tied. Really, Kay? All right. Closely tied to the stock market, right? Unfortunately. Yeah, but people hate on them like the Elons. They're not letting or helping them achieve what they're trying to do. Fucking Biden ignored Tesla's at the e-car thing he held. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the movie Don't Look Up, I know people don't like that movie, but it's a good movie. It really highlights the flaws of like just our government in general. It's always about sticking it to the opposite party. It's always about staying in power and getting reelected. And our administration is a fucking joke right now. Have you seen them just speak? You got Kamala in the background. You got fucking Joe Biden doesn't know what the fuck he's saying. And I don't even know who the other chick is. It's just, it looks weak, son. And I'm not saying the alternative from what we could have got last election is better, but I'm hoping that a new challenger appears, DeSantis, and we do something. It just feels terrible. Times just feel bad. Now, look, we can't blame all the economic issues on the current administration because things leak from the past current administration, right? But not everything, right? So this is crazy. This is crazy to me. Just make the dollar be backed a stable coin that backs the one. That's some weird, that's some weird matrix shit, right? But this is interesting. So a massive opportunity when the 2 trillion Bitcoin and Ethereum crypto price crash could end. So of course, now if we look at the entire cryptocurrency market, it is under $1 trillion. So it's down $2 trillion. Now, is this a once in a lifetime opportunity? Is this a big opportunity? I believe so. Look, they're going to get aggressive when it comes to interest rates. They're going to get extremely aggressive. We're talking about 100 basis points. They're going to get, I think they're going to get aggressive. They have to get aggressive. They have to aggressively do this, So when our economy starts to recover, right, when inflation goes down, well, then we can expect cryptocurrencies start making moves. What's promising to me, is that we're seeing cryptocurrency kind of just trade sideways, which is good. This is what we want. This gives people the opportunity for an extended period of time to buy a cheaper Bitcoin or a cheaper Ethereum than its all-time high. Right? Because if you're bullish on cryptocurrency, these prices are still discounts. Now, is this going to be the best price you're going to get going forward? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not, though. A lot of us are expecting real bad times to come. So we'll have to see, right? Tim C says, Rodney, match the same monetary inflation against schooling. What's used to take high schoolers takes a master's, a bachelor's takes multiple. That is true. The value of the degree has significantly gone down. And honestly, if you're not getting a degree that's highly specialized, like maybe being a lawyer, being like some sort of surgeon, doctor, or something like a therapist, something that needs an advanced degree, some would say they're kind of fucking worthless. Now, I worked for a company before that really placed an emphasis on having at least a bachelor's. It was in retail. It was a company called Target. I love working for them. I thought retail just kind of kills you, but they were a fantastic company. Now, they made it so you had to have a bachelor's degree to move up in the ranks, which to me, there are people working there for a long time that probably could have did a better job than some of the managers they fucking snatched out of college, but they wanted that bachelor's degree. They wanted to put value on it I don't know why, to become like a top level manager, which puts you on a salary and those sorts of things. But there are some companies doing that, but I think a lot of people don't really care about that. I think they're really looking more towards skills, actual real life skills, because to be honest, what do you really learn? I mean, yes, school's fine, but being in the working world is going to teach you way more than being in college. Yeah, chemical engineering, stuff like that, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, but you could say, dude, it's Target. Dude, Target's not an easy job, bro. Like operations, loss prevention, those jobs are tough. That you gotta be really smart with those and keep up with all sorts of metrics and those. It's a hard job. It's a hard working job. So Big A Armory says, can you help me wrap my head around the Voyager pump? Big A, your guess is as good as mine. I've been talking to Biz about it. We don't know. Right? We don't know. Rodney on the Jake Gagan show getting volted. Voltoshi was watching and listening for a few minutes to going back to work. Oh, I put Pablo's Voltoshi on that. That was funny. Kay says our economy is ran by consumer spending and debt. That's why the economy is crashing. They haven't even started. That is true. WebTorp, good point. They haven't even started quantitative tightening. They are still quantitative easing. That's what I've been hearing, right? Racism aside, what are we talking about here? The only reason why VP is because she's a color. She's the only reason. She has zero qualification for that job. Yeah, it's obvious, right? I mean, that's obvious. I get it, guys. People want to, we want to mix things up. We want to get different colors in the office, guys. But I'm not about that. Can we just get someone who I believe in, I want to lead? I don't care about color and stuff like that. It's about who can get the fucking job done. And if right now the person that's not of color can get the fucking job done, then send it. I don't care. I don't care about who political believes. I just care about them getting us out of this fucking rut. That's what I care about. Having a leader people believe in and trust in, because no one is trusting our administration right now. Not even the Democrats want Joe Biden to get reelected. I don't care about political parties. I just want someone who I can believe in, All right, so let's go ahead and go to some inflation videos. So we're going to listen to a one on Bloomberg first, then Fox, and then we're going to do CNBC. So we get around get around.
An upside surprise, certainly with the headline up 1.3% on the month. That's going to reflect energy prices rebounding even more from May. And that puts the year-over-year headline number at 9.1%. That's going to be a scary number for a lot of Americans. The core comes in up 0.7, a disappointment. It had come up 0.6 the month before, and the expectation was it would drop back to just 0.5%. It doesn't suggest that inflation's momentum has been slowed. We do see a bit of a drop, probably on base effects, 5.9% for the CPI year over year, the core over year over year. That is down 0.1 from 6% a year ago or a month ago. Now, taking a look at the overall numbers, trying to get a handle on where the inflation is coming from. It is, of course, gasoline prices. And I'm just checking here for gasoline was up 11.2% during the month of June. Over the year, 59.9%. I'm putting numbers on something people just drop their jaws
right here
every time they fill up
their
tank.
Crazy.
Food at home has been important. That is kind of plateaued. 1% gain on a year-over-year basis of 12.2%. So a little bit of help on the food front. In terms of other things that have changed, apparel, we had thought there might be a drop because of bloated inventories, but it rises 0.8%, up 5.2% on the year. And used cars, the wholesale numbers from Manheim had gone down, but used car prices rise 1.6%. They're up 7.1% on the year. New cars rise by 0.8%. By 0.7, and they're up 11.4% of the year. So a lot of the contributors to the inflation rate that the Fed had worried about and thought might be transitory apparently are not, except we've now, it seems, passed the peak for airline fares.
Do me a favor, clickety-clack that button, and shout out to Chase Rewards, because I didn't have to pay a damn dime for my airfare tickets. Now, unpopular opinion, and we'll get into inflation numbers right now. I watched a lot of Dave Ramsey, and I understand Dave Ramsey, and I get it. I understand what he's doing. But at the same time, if you can manage a credit card, man, and if you pay for everything, with the credit card and pay your credit card on time, you never get charged any interest rates, and it's a great way to save money and earn rewards and fly for free. Just be careful. Okay. Yes, absolutely insane. And you can see the breakdown right here. Of course, gasoline is what's really, and I mean, we all feel the effects of that. I don't even drive that much, and I'm like complaining about it. I couldn't imagine having to commute back and forth from work every single day. That's insane to me. That's absolutely nutty. And apparel, of course, not too bad. If you guys know anything about apparel and retail, this is the biggest profit margin. It's literally 70 cents to $1 in profit. Like electronics and those sorts of things in retail, you don't really make that much of a profit on. And that's why when you go to like department stores and you're buying like an Xbox, they're trying to sell you like controllers and Ethernet cables and all kinds of shit, because the attachments is what really boosts the price. But to me, apparel going up is kind of crazy to me. So that's very interesting. But used cars, this is a good opportunity for people who are trying to maybe sell their used car. Now, I got a call from my dealership a while ago saying, hey, we will buy back your car. And they'll probably give me a decent price, probably more than the Kelley Blue Book value, even though there's some damage. So if you have a used car and you don't want it, well, maybe it's a good time to sell it. But also buying a brand new car is not good right now either. So, and interest rates obviously are not good either. So if you have a spare car or something like that, that'd be a good idea. But yes, make sure you clickety-clack that like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. So crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. But back to the cryptocurrency side of this, a massive opportunity. Guys, it's going to be good. Sorry, but I lovingly caress the like button. Look, if you want to, you can lovingly caress that like button too, right? Kenny says, I'm stressed getting a cheesesteak. Actually, I'm having steak tonight. I'm having steak, sweet potato, and asparagus. Probably throw some R. Kelly if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, actually, I can't say throw on R. Kelly anymore, right? Okay, throw on some Usher. Anyways, okay, so a massive opportunity in cryptocurrency. Guys, I believe in blockchain. I believe in the blockchain. I believe in the blockchain technology. I believe in smart contracts, Web3. I think this is the wave. And you know what? We looked at the mass adoption charts compared to the internet back in the day. And although you could say crypto's a little more niche, and although it was niche, the internet was niche back then, right? Usually used for businesses and stuff like that. But you could say that it's the same trajectory. And look at, if you invested into the right internet companies back in the day, well, that's life-changing money, right? Life-changing money. Insane. Investing is like the fucking cheat road to anything, right? If you look at like the four wealth builders, or like the four ways to build wealth, is like an office job, small business owner, I think it's like a large corporation owner, and then like a fucking investing. And like investing is like the cheap path. And obviously we know people who've like are super rich investing in shitcoins. So it shows you how powerful investing can be. And if you get in on the right projects right now, or when the crash actually happens, I'm telling you, you know, it could be a massive opportunity to make insane amounts of money, you know? So if you believe in cryptocurrency, if you believe in blockchain technology, and I know it's tough right now with all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt going on, but understand it's not just crypto. I know a lot of eyes are on crypto, and I know a lot of the headlines are they call them they're sexy, these sexy headlines, right? That crypto's this, crypto's a scam. We have all these influencers coming out like CoffeeZilla, which I respect and love a lot, but you know, he's always shitting on cryptocurrency. He's talking about the scams a lot, but they always sneak this cryptocurrency. Spencer Cornelia, you know, a lot of people are really spreading a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt about cryptocurrency. But I think we're just in the beginning stages of something great, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see, right? Look at we're all content creators. We're all trying to get people to watch and get clicks and those sorts of things. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt, right? Now, Kay says, "What if crypto is a scam?" Don't get me wrong. There are a ton of crypto scam projects out there, and these bear markets are exposing them. But what I hope you can discover on our crypto journey, my crypto journey, is being able to spot out those fucking scams. How many times have we been wrecked on this channel? Yes, here's the thing. They are fun to invest in, make a little bit of money, you know, flip it, and then you're good. And on to the next one. Yes, you can get in, make money, and get out. Too many people get stuck holding the bag. And that's true. Peru Invest, 99% of crypto is a scam. I believe that. But there are a lot of good projects out there, right? Big Daddy Bitcoin, the only commodity, in my opinion, leading the way. Leading the way. But I like Ethereum myself. I'm a big Ethereum guy. So it's crazy. So keep that in mind, guys. So check this out. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major cryptocurrencies have suffered a brutal crash in recent months as a bitter new crypto winter sets in. The Bitcoin price has plummeted under the closely watched 20,000 per Bitcoin level, with the latest sky-high U.S. inflation reading pushing the Bitcoin price under $19,000. The Ethereum price is meanwhile trading around $1,000 per Ether, down from almost $5,000 late last year, with the crash wiping around $2 trillion from the combined crypto markets. Now, despite investors saying they're not ready to call the market bottom, one influential crypto investor has predicted the Bitcoin price will top its previous all-time high of almost 70,000 before 2025. Now, people don't like those numbers. People don't like it being so far out in the future, guys. But look at investing. You got to get out of this whole "I'm going to get rich tonight" vibe. You got to get out of that. What's up, Bernie? How you doing? You got to get out of that. I mean, excuse me, Bree. You got to get out of that, right? You got to get out of that mindset. You got to just look at things long term. It's okay to wait a little bit, right? It's okay to, put things off for a while. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see. So in the next 24 months, we will see a new all-time high in Bitcoin. Wow. CoinShares Chief Strategy Officer Meltem Demeanor, what the fuck name is that, told CNBC this week, pointing to Bitcoin's history as a cyclical asset that has been previously seen 90% drawdowns following price peaks. And we knew that, right? We know that that's what Bitcoin does. That's a very long tail of crypto assets, and I think will go to zero. That doesn't really have any long-term prospect, as we've seen with so many tech stocks as well, Demir added, echoing crypto billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried, who last week warned about a substantial fraction of cryptocurrencies that are nothing more than empty products. And we know that, right? The whole 99% of cryptocurrency is a scam, right? Others have gone further, suggesting that the vast majority of crypto markets will be wiped out during the coming crypto winter, and that's true. The top 5, the top 10, the top 20 products always change each bull cycle, unless you're Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is a cleansing process of note, as we believe 80 to 90% of the crypto products will not survive this period. Louis Schumann, managing director of broker comparison site Forex wrote in email comments. Speaking of Forex, how about the euro being worth less than the dollar, or as much as the dollar? Because for a while it was worth at least $1.30, right? Insane. So if you're trading, if you're a Forex trader, have fun with that shit. It also serves as a massive opportunity for many no coiners to enter the crypto market for the first time ever at prices not seen since 2017. This is what we're talking about. Everyone was bitching and moaning about not being able to get in at these cheap prices. And now that we finally have the opportunity to get in, it's tough. Tough, right? People don't want to do it. People are scared. Everyone wants to buy when we're spiking to the moon. No one wants to sell or take profits. But right now, everyone wants to sell. Everyone's scared. That's true, Peru Invest. Absolutely. Now, check this out. How do we make a decision on what are good cryptocurrency products to invest in? Well, you kind of just have to look at what they're doing. That's why right now in markets like this, unless you're just gambling, to me, there's only a few that you should really be looking at. XRP just had a good win with the SEC, right? In their court case. It's not over yet, but they had a good win, right? Bitcoin, obviously, Ethereum, BNB, of course. XRP, Cardano, maybe even Solana. Even though Solana's come under heavy fire recently, a lot of network issues. Dogecoin, maybe. I think Dogecoin's a meme. Guys, I can't see Dogecoin being here the next bull run. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's going to be top 10. I might be wrong, but I don't know. Polkadot, like all the Avalanche, right? All these good projects, right? Timsky says, sell your used vehicle for profit, pay off the car debt, buy a shitbox beater, and don't be proud. That's true. Hey, look it. Sometimes you could sell your used vehicle for a profit. You could definitely do that if it's in good condition, right? If you're taking care of your car, you could definitely do that. So let's go ahead and check. Is there no dev team? Yes, exactly. Like Warren says, when the tide goes out, you will see who's swimming naked. Absolutely. How many people get wrecked by leverage? How many people can bite off more than they can chew? A lot of people. hey, man, if you don't have the money for it, I mean, sometimes you get lucky, but a lot of times you get absolutely wrecked. So let's go to check out some more inflation news. We'll go to Fox News first.
Key report.
Do me a favor and clickety-clack that like button.
For June just released, consumer prices jumping 9.1% year over year, the biggest gain in 40 years. Here to react, former Reagan.
Real quick, you know what shocked me is that when they said 40 years, they were referring to 1980. Obviously, that's 40 years ago. To me, 1980 being 40 years ago is absolutely fucking insane. Holy shit, I feel old.
Economic advisor Art Laffer. And Mr. Laffer, we may have to interrupt you when the president takes the podium. So you look at this number, and it's pretty easy to understand why so many people in his own party don't want Joe Biden to run for re-election.
Of course.
Yeah, that's very clear. But what's also clear is this inflation number is accelerating. It's not toning down, as they say. It's not topping out. None of that is true. This number is accelerating. When you look at the construction of this number, the number that was dropped off 12 months ago was a very high number. So this number should have dropped quite substantially. I thought down to about 8.2, but instead it's 9.1, which means we've got an inflation problem of incredible proportions, and there's no slowing down. It's accelerating.
All right. So, Art, the average American family, how does this affect them? And will we continue to see these numbers go up and up and up?
Yeah, we will continue to see these numbers go up and up and up. It's accelerating, and this thing is out of control. If it affects their everyday family, of course, by buying groceries, by buying things, their wages often are fixed.
Right.
You've got the stock market coming down. Some of them have wealth. They have checking accounts. All of those are being eaten away by this inflation at an ever-increasing rate. And just for the record, I'm old enough that I lived through all that period before. I was with Reagan, and I was before that with the Nixon administration. And so I saw inflation firsthand.
Right.
This is about as bad as it gets.
All right.
And combined with the employment numbers, which are not good for this administration, I don't see how they pull out of a crash.
But Art, yesterday they told us the numbers that we're going to see today are old because gas prices have dropped since. You laugh. Why?
Yes, I do it. They're old like a week and a half, 2 weeks old. They're not old like 2 years old. They're not old like I am, Brian, 82. These numbers are very current. There are no numbers that we're getting from tomorrow.
Sure.
And that's just a silly number.
He
Silly thing
laughs.
for them to
His
say.
last name is Laffer.
Right.
And it's laughing. Hey, Art, so here's the problem. The president is putting all of his eggs in one basket, and the basket is the Federal Reserve. He's relying on the Federal Reserve to bring the inflation rate down to 2%. And it's going the wrong way. So they stomped on the brakes for 3/4 of a point last time, could do the same next time. This is not going to end well.
No, it's not ending well, and the Fed is not doing the right job. Paul Volcker allowed interest rates to be free and clear, so they rose on their own.
Right.
Imagine if the Fed sold off $1 trillion of bonds. The yields would be 14, 15% on the 10-year bond.
Wow.
It's not doing that, so they're not getting it under control. They're allowing it to continue to rise. Then they're going to have a real problem a year down the road.
What about
That's
recession?
the thing that I worry about.
Do you predict a recession?
Well, recession looks very imminent. You know, when you get spot commodity prices dropping while the inflation rate is accelerating, you've got a recession on your hands. The reason copper and gold and lumber and all those are dropping is because the demand for them is going down. It's not like rents and all these other things that are rising at high rates. So we've got the worst of all possible worlds.
Right.
The only thing hopeful I have in my mind is the next election. I mean, the midterm elections, if people don't choose a better path, it's their problem.
Well, if we look in the past to see how we got out of it, you guys came in and got us out of it. Supply side economics, both the supply chain is broken and it doesn't seem to be fixed, or it's haphazard in the way it's being fixed. The other thing you did is cut spending and the interest rates began to come down. So what do we expect now? What kind of combination to ameliorate this?
Yeah, well, the combination is tight money, letting interest rates rise to where they should rise, and then tax cuts to increase the supply of goods and services. That is the way we brought it down in the 80s. That's the way it can be brought down now. But when you look at what Schumer and Manchin and some of these are talking about is a Build Back Better light, which is just the exact wrong thing they're doing. They should be cutting taxes and they should be cutting spending. That's what needs to be done to bring this under control and let interest rates seek their own level.
They want to raise the corporate tax rate again.
I know, it's crazy.
It is
the
crazy.
corporate tax rate is one of the most successful things that has happened in the last half century. And they now want to reverse it.
They do.
How crazy is that?
By the way, Art is speaking at Freedom Fest. It's streaming on Fox Nation, so check that out.
Freedom Fest.
I was going to ask him about. I was going to ask you about this. You know, the president is in the Middle East to beg Saudi Arabia to give us more oil. We don't need to ask them. We could be energy independent, but you know what? He does not want to do that because of his green agenda.
Yeah, we were we were energy independent when Trump left office. We really were. We were in good shape, and now we're about 2 million.
All right, so political attacks aside, political attacks aside, first of all, USA just flipped the euro. That's crazy. USD just flipped the euro. That's absolutely insane. Now, I kind of regretted having dollar cost averaging in the cryptocurrency instead of just keeping my money in cash. Excuse me, keeping my not investing and keeping it in cash, but who knows what's going to happen, right? Yeah. So unfortunately, here's the thing. Yes, our economy is looking bad, inflation is looking bad, but the dollar dominance is rising, right, compared to other currencies. So it's not just us; it's the entire world. And there's an 80% chance of recession. They say recession is going to happen, right? Absolutely insane. So. Cost of living's going up. It's insane. Rent's going up. I mean, everyone's feeling the effects. And, a lot of salaries and the way people get paid, they're fixed. So where's the relief? Crazy. I might log into the old Forex account and do some work. Dude, Forex is the original degeneracy before cryptocurrency, right? Why do people shit on Biden and Democrats when they fuck up when the Republicans do the same thing and they're silent, vice versa? It's just news. It's not about. It's just what we're gonna watch another article from CNBC and see what they have to say about it. The energy independent thing that's real though, right? Let's see. There we go.
Beautiful view outside of Mika's condo.
All right, 27 past the hour. We learned moments ago that last month consumer prices rose 9.1% compared to this time last year. That was worse than economists expected. Joining us now, columnist and editor for the New York Times Deal Book and co-anchor of CNBC's Squawk Box, Andrew Ross Sorkin. Good to have you.
Andrew, and if you're president of the United States, there are 4 words you do not want said consecutively. Worst inflation since 1981. I mean, we're going back to the days of Paul Volcker, baby. That's not good news for anybody.
We are. And what you're seeing in an even worse case politically is it's the cost that we all know and frankly that capture the middle and the bottom of the most. We're talking about rent, which is higher. We're talking about gas, which we know is higher. And we're talking about food, which is higher. And so you're seeing these things be persistent. It is not changing at the moment. There's a little bit of good news only in that we've seen gas prices over the last couple of weeks start to come down just a little bit. That's not something you're seeing in that report because these are backward looking. But nonetheless, I think this is going to raise lots of questions, both politically in Washington, but also, of course, what does the Federal Reserve do? There is an expectation, as we all know, that they are going to hike interest rates to try to tamp this down. The question is, do they have to move, as you referenced Paul Volcker, do they have to move aggressively and really try to tamp things down?
Yeah, they do.
They've desperately been trying to avoid that, and they may now get forced into a position to do so if this persists. Of course, wages have remained persistently high as well, which is good for the consumer to some degree, but of course is also keeping costs across the board quite high as well.
Yeah, boy, that devastating numbers for working Americans, for people on fixed income as well. I feel compelled to go to Walter Isaacson to get a Shakespeare reference for this news, for this time, Walter. Now, this is bad. You like me, you remember 1981. You remember the high inflation.
Does he look like he's like stoned or something? Doesn't he look like he's like stoned or on something? Wacky.
Absolutely devastating for people on fixed incomes, devastating for working class Americans, just like it's devastating now, all these years later.
And the main thing is fuel prices seem to rocket through every other part of the economy. I had a question for Andrew, if I might, which is if we don't have a Volcker, in other words, if the Fed doesn't really clamp down hard, what's the real danger? Could this totally spiral out of control?
I mean, that is the danger. The danger is that it does totally spiral out of control, and then we see these numbers continue to rise consistently, and that's, I think, the worst case scenario. But unfortunately, it appears like the worst case scenario is upon us, and there is no going back unless you do something about it. But the conundrum, and this is different than what Paul Volcker was dealing with, is it's still a supply chain shock, which is to say, there is a lack of supply, not just in terms, and we've talked about it before, of semiconductors and parts, but of labor, of humans, of people. And so as long as that dynamic is at play, we've got a problem. And so you're trying desperately to just tamp down demand, almost to give the supply chain time to come back online.
And Andrew, we're watching right next to you that number go down about 400 points here at the opening bell on the Dow. Just ticking through some of these numbers, specifically groceries up 12%. That's the biggest increase in 79. Chicken up 19%, biggest increase ever. Gas 60%, and on and on and on. These are historic highs for so many of these categories. I was at our favorite diner the other day with my daughter, and I always like to check in with the owner who made it through COVID, thank God, with her business intact. But she said everything is costing her twice what it cost her not long ago. She's having to reprint her menu. She's worried about losing customers because the food is generally affordable there. And this is a scene that's playing out in millions of small businesses across the country.
Everything costs more. Everything costs more. And the irony is what the Federal Reserve wants to do in certain ways is actually make it cost even more. That's why you're actually seeing the stock market go down, because what people are saying is, look, if it costs more to borrow, you might spend less, but in the short term, it will create higher prices everywhere. So the dynamic is a very unique one, and one that we as a country and from an economic forces perspective is not something we've dealt with.
Andrew Ross Sorkin, CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin, thank you very much.
It's going to take a lot of different brilliant minds to fix this issue we have going on, guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think's going on, right? What do you guys think? You know, we know what's going on, but what do you guys think? What's the plan of action? They're going to have to get aggressive on interest rates. Aggressive, right? It sucks. And, you know, small businesses getting absolutely wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Think about if you're like a restaurant and you have, because you have to get all the, although when you buy things wholesale, it's cheaper, but imagine having like your things doubling, right? All the small little businesses you know of, things just doubling for them. Absolutely insane. And they have to raise prices as a result, you know? So think about it. Just think about it. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So we had both views. We had MSNBC and we had Fox News. I'm not talking about newscasters' bright minds. I'm talking about people to fix our damn economy, right? Fix it. Kay says, "I've ever thought about living off the grid." No, I can't do YouTube living off the grid. I need internet. I guess I can get Starlink, right? Renaissance says, banks should be ashamed, Rodney. I love the idea of mortgage reversals happening. Buying a home when the bank creates a debt. No such thing. Let's look at Uniform Code commercial laws. What do you mean? F. Joe Crypto says, meme coins will pump in August when 150,000 Bitcoins are returned from a hack from years ago. Was $300 when stolen? Even with a price now, all those Bitcoins would be sold as they waited all this time. Crazy, 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 crazy. Gas is only as high as it is not because oil companies have raised prices to make for a lost revenue because of C, and then Ukraine happened on top of that, and then U.S. inflation. Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of reasons why we're seeing this huge increase in gas and oil over the last year, right? And a big argument is that we're relying on other countries for our oil instead of drilling here because, you know, we're saving the environment. And I get it, but man, what do you do, right? I don't think we're not at the point yet where we can just not rely on fossil fuels, right? We have to. You know, we have to. That's why we need to do everything we can to put, like, you know, brilliant minds like Elon Musk. We need to figure out a way to help him get all the money he can to create. I know people say, "Oh, Tesla's hurt the environment more." I mean, maybe, but you know, we can't be virtue signaling and pretend like we don't need fossil fuel and you could say dirty energy if that's our only option right now. What do you want us to do? You know, sometimes real life is different than, you know, it's like, look, here in the United States and in Western civilizations, we have the privilege and the opportunity to have all of our needs met on every level, that we can even get to a point where we can even give a shit about the environment, right? Because so many people in other places of the world they're worried about where the fuck they're going to eat, if they have clean water, sanitation. War-torn countries, they don't give a shit about the environment because they're not there yet, you know? They're thinking about getting more modernized, right? So it's insane to me. We have to understand that there are places in the world where they don't give a damn shit about the environment. It can't be just an effort on our end. It has to be a worldwide effort. Yeah, exactly, Lost in Crypto, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Gold Magikarp. If you were an oil company, would you start a new drilling product? Absolutely not. No. Who would do that? You know, who would do that? So, I mean, I know people want to get reelected, but I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Just short the Nasdaq and Dow at this point. SQQQ and SER are going to be hard for a while. That's what we said after the last inflation data came out, but then it like pumped like crazy, didn't it? You know? So, what do you guys think? You know, I'm interested to hear your opinion. How do you guys think we fix this problem? I mean, I think we know how to fix this problem, right? It's going to hurt for like at least 6 months, maybe even a year or more. You know, maybe 24 months. It's going to hurt. Let's see if Watcha Guru has any more crypto news for us. Watcha Guru is freaking steady, just killing it. Hyosung America is to offer Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies across this. Okay, so we have more ATMs with Bitcoin. KuCoin Exchange has reported that 40% of the adult population in Saudi Arabia is invested in cryptocurrency. That's interesting. Okay. Of course, inflation numbers. Ooh. 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 $400 million USDT has been transferred to Huobi to an unknown wallet. Interesting. Okay. We all might be living off the grid. I think he meant all meme coins will dump. Nope, I'm up on both, and it will continue to be until they decide to unfuck this. Okay. Elon Musk had paved the technological advances, but yes, Rodney, air to weight generations creating 20,000 gallons of water a day from the air. I don't believe in their BS. Interesting. As long as Biden is in office, we will suffer. I watched a Mr. Beast video on ocean trash. He said that the trash comes from 3 rivers to pour to own bins. Oh, to pour to own bins. Really? Everyone will need charging stations at their house. How much would that cost, and how much would the electric bill go up? That is true. That is true, right? Well, if they stopped killing people that made water engines, I don't even know anything about that. Rodney, it's all about keeping the CEOs' positions and everyone on top getting their bonuses. And of course, in politics, to get reelected, we need to stop buying into their BS, but not much we can do. It seems like that, right? It seems like the middle class is slowly evaporating. I know 24 months seems bad, guys, but this might be a long journey, right? I think we'd be better off if 2008 banks were allowed to actually fail rather than print money to prop them up so they continue screwing everything up. I think we need to put money into developing better solar panels, more money into battery storage technology. There's actually a huge tax. You get, I think you get like a big write-off if you get a solar. I'm not sure how much it is now. You get like a huge tax credit for solar. I tried to sell solar panels for a little bit. That shit was too hard. It says, with this market data, I'm surprised we aren't down 25% in the S&P. I don't think people have fully realized how screwed we are. I don't think so either, right? That's another thing I did a long time ago, convert USD. But look at, definitely the move, in my opinion, is having some cash on the side to get ready to ape, right? Look at, if you can make extra money with a side hustle, that's good too. You know, maybe consider paying off debt. Times are going to get hard, right? And if you're looking to buy like a vehicle, man, make sure you have decent credit. I've been watching so many videos on whiteboard finance to make sure, like, if you're thinking about buying a car right now, it's probably not the move. Repos have gone up substantially. It's absolutely insane, right? Insane. Because of all the money that people thought they had during the when we got the stimulus checks, right? It's crazy how much money when it's like right after that big dip we had because of, you know, the C virus, you know, people were just wilding out, buying all kinds of shit. Now they're paying the price for it. So if you think about buying a car or anything like that, make sure you get the best interest rates. Make sure you go in there armed with facts and knowledge, have a good down payment and those sorts of things, right? Now it's not the time to be buying cars, and that's why I held off. Does your apartment? No, they don't use solar, no. But solar panels are very, very common out here. Jayhawk says, yes, sir. You can get a $2,500 rebate from your the energy company, and wow, 13,000 tax write-off in solar panels. Nice. Okay. I told my wife I'm going to sell pictures of my feet. Hey, that's passive income, baby. I seen on Dateline solar panel companies scam people with claims of big savings. No, you can have big savings. You can have big savings. It's a long-term thing, though. Yep, people spent the stimulus checks on down payments, not calculating if they could actually afford paying long-term. You know what? That's why I don't really mind like driving my I do want a new car. I get it. I get the appeal. But my car's paid off. My insurance is paid at 6 months in advance. Like, I'm just chilling, and I don't really mind. I pull up next to a nice car, and I'm like, but fuck it, you know? Fuck it. Who cares? If you own a truck, keep your catalytic converters safe. Yes, that is a big deal. People are stealing catalytic converters, and they are not cheap. The solar panels we have can't hold all the energy to produce the wattage we need. It's companies that have panels a foot wide that can triple the output of the ones that. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you need a system that is good enough for your actual house, right? Or your and there's a bunch of things that come with it. I think you have to own the house. You have to own the property. You have to have a good roof, right? And you have to be positioned in a way where you're not blocked by trees. You might need to get some trees taken down. There's a lot that goes into it. Like, just saying I want solar panels is not enough. Heard horror stories of solar installs fucking up people's roof and causing more issues. Yes, your roof has to be good. A lady said that she's paying $400 a month for solar equipment and still has a $200 electricity bill. Some of it does break over time. That is true. Hovey says, fuck, my AC stopped working yesterday. Next available apartment tomorrow is 112 degrees. Oh my God. Oh my God. Crypto Bird just creating OnlyFans for my wife. Hey, I use my stimulus to pay off my debt. That's what I'm fucking talking about, JT. That's what I'm fucking talking about. JX says I have a 20 kilowatt system and only use about 13 kilowatt on my worst month. Nice. Okay. Solar panels are good, but there is 0 point energy. What do you mean? I want to buy my own land with trees and a river or lake and build my own home. Nice. Okay. New panels being invented that uses photosynthesis so it can charge in the dark. Like plants and shit? Pamela going to our President Biden about to have a heart attack. Wait, who? Make sure your roof is good before we drill hundreds of holes in it. Absolutely. You have to have a good roof. You have to get it inspected, right? It's a big deal. Good solar panel companies will have your roof thoroughly inspected, and it might need to get repaired. My dad got 18 solar panels for $100 the year before they boomed. Yeah, but there's all kinds of write-offs, incentives, and it does pay for itself over time. It's over time, though. It takes years. What's up, Twitch Radio? How you doing? Like in Southern California, solar panels are a huge deal because, I mean, we just get all this like sunlight all day, every day. So, you know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is just about up, guys. There will be no coffee and crypto tomorrow, unfortunately, because I'll be at the airport, but I will have it the subsequent days to follow. It's going to be a poverty-looking stream. I'm going to try to bring my best camera equipment, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you guys are doing well during these hard economic times. Save your money, try to pay off debt as much as you can, and get ready for a huge dip. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic day. It's hump day. Do something crazy. Look, if you're feeling down about anything, look at the best free things to make you feel better. Go out and walk. Get some sunshine if there's sun. Eat some good, healthy foods. Hydrate. Get out there. Vitamin D is good for you. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.